Hello, and welcome to The Kosh. I'm your host, Timber Smith, and The Kosh is a podcast that spotlights people who have had an association with Oshkosh or the surrounding Fox Cities area. Kosh listeners, how are you doing out there? Once again, it is an awesome Saturday morning. My guests are really nice to me because I do make them get up really early to record this, to record the show. But it seems to work out well because the energy is always amazing. Let me just start off with a little bit of my starting gripe. So, you know, this weather has been absolutely horrible in making your car filthy, just filthy, you know, and I'm not a big car washer, but you know, I got a new vehicle, new whip. And, I'm like, you know, yesterday I'm like, you know what? I'm going to sneak to the car wash on my way in. And I get to the car wash and oh my God, did everybody have that same plan? Did everybody on a Friday right after work have the same plan of getting the smut and the filth off of their car? There was like 72 cars in line to get it. And I'm just like, good God. Now, I know that sounds like that's my what in the world is going on with, but no, I got a different what in the world is going on with. I just need to share that because it was on my mind. Now, once again, you know what? I have an amazing guest as always. Oh. We're going to try this again. My guest for this week is Tom Perry. Tom, how are you doing?
I'm doing well. Thank you.
Hey, good. Thank you for being a guest. You know what I like about your name? I can't slaughter it. The Kosh listeners know I have a tradition of just murdering names. I'm horrible at it. So, you know, something like Tom and Perry, I can handle that. Much like a Timber and Smith, like there's just not a whole lot of complexity to that.
Not too much.
Not too much. All right. You ready to jump in?
Certainly.
Okay. So, Tom, can you please share a little something about yourself?
Well, I've been a human services executive for 32 years.
Whoa.
And I know I'm a lot younger looking than I appear, but I've been helping people my entire career right out of college, and what I really do enjoy is helping the disadvantaged individual, whether it be somebody with a disability, somebody new to the area, somebody who can't read, write, those types of things. I just enjoy helping people. When you're in human services, they say your heart is bigger than your brain, and maybe that's the case.
That might be true. Your heart is definitely usually bigger than your paycheck.
That is for sure.
What is your association with Oshkosh or the Fox Cities area?
Well, I came here about 8 years ago for a job change, and we were looking in the area for some place to live, and my job was going to be in the Fond du Lac area at the time, and my wife is an instructor, got a job in the Neenah School District, and so Oshkosh was the logical midpoint. What attracted us, though, was a university town, much more to do. The theater and sports scene are pretty amazing for a small city.
Yeah, they are.
And, you know, it didn't take me an hour to go to a big grocery store like it did where I came from. So it's just, 10 minutes to the store, 10 minutes back, you're good to go. It really was a time saver.
I'm not going to lie. Traffic gets me. I love what this is for traffic. Like I have city in my heart, but I can't go back to a big city because that's such a time waster. Sitting in your car, trying to get to one space to the next space. Like that's just no good.
And I agree with you completely. I'm actually from the south side of Chicago, and my wife tells me all the time, quit driving like I'm in the city. So I got to learn to use turn signals and things like that.
Are you one of those people? Tom, are you one of those people?
If the posted speed limit is just a suggestion.
Bruh. Oh, my God. Now, you already know that we Wisconsin people already have beef with Illinois drivers because y'all be wilding out.
Right. Well, I've been here since 1984 now, so I'm having a beef with Illinois drivers, too.
Oh. Bruh. I love that. Yes. Yes. So you said you're originally from south side of Chicago?
Yes, and I received a scholarship to play baseball at a small college in Wisconsin, and so that's how I came to Wisconsin, met my wife there, and stayed. That's the rest is history, I guess.
That's it, huh?
Yep.
All right. Well, baseball is big. What was the position?
I was a relief pitcher and a second baseman.
Oh, okay.
So now I can't lift my arm above my shoulder, but you do the things you do when you're young and regret them when you're old.
This is facts. Mm-hmm. This is big fat facts. Like, you just don't get it when you're young like that. There's a time that comes along that the body's going to say, hey, remember when you were like 22 and you did blah, blah, blah? We're going to make you pay for it now. Yeah, there's something. There's something very serious about that right there. Okay. Well, thank you. We're going to jump into the first segment. First segment is what in the world is going on with. This is where you start off with the phrase, what in the world is going on with, and you tell us what's on your mind.
Well, what in the world is going on with the immigrant and refugee situation in the area? There's a lot of questions about that.
Bruh. Break it down.
Well, I work with immigrant and refugee populations because our job at the Winnebago Area Literacy Council is to teach people to learn how to read and write the English language. And the Fox Valley area is a refugee resettlement community, and so we get a lot of people from all over the world.
Yes, we do.
A lot of questions been on the Afghan situation, but the Afghan situation is a small part of what makes our community so diverse. We've been getting individuals from Central African nations, Middle East, and Southeast Asia for years and years and years. And we tend to lose sight of them when we have a situation like that's loud and proud in the community, like the Afghan situation. And so we just have to be there for everybody that comes in. And, literacy, it's not just new residents. It could be your friend, your neighbor, your aunt, your uncle. So we just want to talk about, what's going on with the Afghans, the other immigrants, the other refugees in the area. And we have to welcome them as a community.
Yes, we do. They're here. They're supposed to be here. They should be here. They've earned their way here often. And we should be walking the walk of the talk we say we are.
I agree. We have people who, and just this week, I've met 16 new individuals from Afghanistan just this week. 12 of those individuals had fought in the Army for Afghanistan or for the United States as an interpreter, guarding the embassy. One gentleman has to come here just because his unit guarded the United States embassy. It was not something that he wanted to do. It was not something that he thought he would be doing, but because he was assigned there, he had to come here because he had no other options. These men are scared. These people are afraid. They're in a new culture. This is the first time some of them have seen snow.
Oh, my God. Bruh. Now, snow is scary.
It can be. And these people are cold. And, I've seen a group walking down the street the other day with a coat on but no hat or gloves. I've made it a point to carry hat and gloves in my car, and I'll pull over and give it to people that I know are new to the area because we just have to be decent to our fellow human. It's what makes us great. It's what makes us a great society, and being part of it and being part of this movement to welcome people, it's what we have to do as a community.
Facts. I love that. You carry an extra set of gloves. And Kosh listeners out there, I think we need to take heed and follow the call here by Tom. Like do you know the numbers off the top of your head? I've heard the numbers because it's part of my job also. But do you remember the numbers of how many families or individuals have moved to Oshkosh?
Well, I can tell you that during the last presidential administration, the last year of the last presidential administration, there were only 62 families that moved to this area, new families that moved to this area. During this current presidential administration, we're talking about potentially 600 families moving to this area, including about 200 Afghani individuals and their families. So we are ramping up very rapidly to welcome a whole new influx of individuals. And the talent is through the roof. I've met doctors, I've met dentists, I've met lawyers, I've met linguists, I've met you name it, all kind of professional individuals who are here trying to make it. And, they could be very, very valuable to our community, and we just have to get them to where they can be.
Right. So what can we do? How can we help?
The first thing we can do is just welcome them, not be afraid, ask questions, get out there, meet these guys, understand what they do, understand their culture, because they're working as hard as they can to understand our culture. And our culture, to many of the individuals, not just the Afghan nationals, but to Central Africans, Burmese, and Middle Easterners, is confusing.
Oh, my God, it's got to be.
Yeah, there are roles, that we play that they don't play. They don't understand the school system. They don't necessarily understand the medical system. We have a group of individuals who don't trust our water and therefore always are doing bottled water, and we see dental issues because they're getting no fluoride. We see people who are leaving kids at home alone because they have to work, and they don't understand that societally we don't like kids under a certain age staying at home. So we have to teach a lot of things about our culture. And the only way we're going to do that is just to engage these individuals, talk to them, and find out who they are and what they do, and invite them into our homes, our businesses, our movie theaters, wherever, so just so that they learn to be what it is to be an American.
Facts. Very much so. Okay. My what in the world is going on with is... what in the world is going on with war? Yeah. And here's my problem, right? I understand war happens and sometimes it's necessary, but at this particular time, this particular war that has begun, I don't understand, because I don't understand why it had to start, because there wasn't an instigating incident. There wasn't something that was like, well, you did this to us, and now we need to retaliate this way or whatever. This was just, we're going to do this because we can. And
right.
At least that's what I've gotten out of it. Kosh listeners, if you're out there, please correct me if I'm wrong. But this is what I've gotten out of it. And this is my thing. What I don't like is some of the attitudes towards it, because my thing is this: if you don't know anything, I know you're thinking, some people are thinking, hey, that's not really our cup of tea. It's not our business. But, if I'm correct, the way World War II started was it started in one place, and then it wasn't our business. And then all of a sudden they attacked us.
Right.
Then it was our business. And
this will become our business, because it will affect gas prices. It will affect energy prices. It will affect other imported item prices, which we're already suffering from right away. And so, we have people that are traveling. We're going to close off parts of the world. We're going to have a hard time getting places because we can't fly over certain airspaces. It's going to affect us no matter what. And war, simply, in my opinion, starts as a perception of a threat. Maybe not necessarily a threat, but the perception of a threat. And that perception obviously changes between each person in the room. You and I have a different perception on 1,000 different topics.
Right.
This ends up being one man or a group of people that just say, well, this is our perception, so this is how we justify. And unfortunately, humankind is filled with poor decisions.
My thing with it is this: you can't put chaos or crazy back in the box, and you can't control it either. So once it's unleashed, it's out there and it's going to do what it does. And whether we think it's going to affect us or not, it's going to. It always does. It just is one of those things where once it's out the box, you can't put the jack back in the box. And this is one of those things where we may be short-sighted to see how this affects us, but it will definitely affect us. It
right.
may even threaten us. It may be more than just financial strife that we have. And I don't think we should just be okay with war being started for once again, I have yet to hear the justification for it.
Right. One of the justifications I heard was to prevent genocide of a people. But what does war do? It kills people.
Right.
So
yeah, that doesn't sound right.
Doesn't sound right, and it doesn't seem like it's a good justification for anything. But it's going to hurt a lot of people. There are people that are now looking for a new country to live in. So there will be immigrants and refugees, some coming here. We have to be able to welcome them. There will be people in the home country who has started the conflict who will not be happy with what's going on. And we may see strife within that country for years to come because of these things. I mean, this is what happened here after Vietnam. It's going to happen there. And we have to be prepared for that as a world and as humankind so that we can make this thing better quicker. Otherwise, it's just going to be decades of turmoil because of things like this.
Facts. I couldn't agree more. There's a lot of wisdom there. All right. On to the next segment. Our next segment is word associations. The first word we always like to start off with food.
Well, that's all. All is the thing. If you see me, you see that I don't ever pass a meal by. But I'm a big Italian type of person, and of course, just a good old cheeseburger is good sometimes too.
Yeah. So it's so Italian. Do we got a favorite Italian dish?
I'm from the south side of Chicago, so I like Chicago style pizza, and I'm not talking deep dish, but I'm talking about pizza that's got some cheese on it. Up here, the cheese is so thin, I just don't understand how you even call it pizza.
What? Oh, my God.
Bruh.
I think we're going to have to talk about that one. I think I'm going to have to say that, I'm going to give you the two places that I know that the cheese is serious here in the Kosh. One is Dr. Benzi's. Dr. Benzi's. Have you ever gone there?
I've gone to Dr. Benzi's. It is a top 3 in the area.
Okay, top 3. Okay,
Yeah.
That cheese is pretty serious. And Ratch and Debs.
And I've gone there, and that's also in the top 3.
They're in the top 3?
Yeah. So, and Dr. Benzi's and Ratch and Debs, they have a little bit of spice to their sauce too.
Facts.
Which is all right.
Yeah, I'm big fans of them. Actually, almost too much cheese for me personally, but not because I don't love cheese. I love cheese. It's more of my body says, hey, bro, there's only so much dairy we're going to allow you to have.
That's an aging thing.
That is. That is an aging thing. I'm going to have to go on and celebrate that as facts. All right. Cocktail or beer?
Being new to Wisconsin or somewhat new to Wisconsin, I got to go with brandy old fashioned. Hey there, that's right.
Oh, did we put some Youper on that?
Oh yeah, we did.
Oh, I love it. Love it. Okay. Brandy old fashions. Do you got a favorite spot?
No, I'm kind of a foodophile, so I like to try anything and everything. Obviously the Wisconsin Supper Club, I've traveled the country, traveled the world. The Wisconsin Supper Club is pretty unique. And I do like traveling into the backcountry and coming across the place that's new and sitting down and eating all kinds of food that's not good for you, but also having that, that good old drink that goes with it.
This is true.
Yeah.
I just asked because there's definitely some places that make their brandy old fashioned better than other places.
Oh, certainly.
Like I think the Roxy is masterful.
Roxy is really good, and if you go on German food night, things like that, it's just pretty amazing.
Yeah, their food is their food's hitting all the time. No ifs, ands, or buts. Okay, streaming.
Well, now Hulu would be my word because I'm a gentleman of a certain age, and I remember when I was a young teenager, us getting HBO cable for the first time because it was, ABC, NBC, CBS, and PBS if you had the rabbit ears facing the right way.
I'm of that age.
Yes. And so we had cable for a long time, and my kids said, Dad, time to cut the cord. So, we do stream a lot and love some of the shows that are on there, do the binge watching, that kind of stuff. So, Yeah. One of the best things I've seen lately is Only Murders in the Building.
Oh, oh, yes, that show totally got me hooked.
And when you see the cast of characters, you're like, how do these three work together? And they work together amazingly. So it was a really good and well done series.
I think everybody said that. Like literally, I found out about that show from my daughter, and when my daughter told me about it, and she's like, "It's this person, this person, and this person," I was like, "How in the world does that work?" But then when I started watching it, I was addicted from the first show, and then when they strung in the whole podcast part of it, then I was done.
Right.
Then I had to, and I totally binged that like in, I think it was 2 days.
It's a really good one.
It's a really, and I can't wait for the next season.
Yes.
I hope that there's another season. It seems like there's going to be.
I hope so. And the thing is what's great about that is you got to look for the obscure guest spots that pop in here. People, Tina Fey and Nathan Lane and things like that. So it's interesting to see all the other people that are just part of this project.
This is true. This is really good. Shop local.
Encouraged 100% of the time. One of my favorite places in town, especially right now, is the Pampered Pet, because I have a new dog and I have to go and get all that stuff, and it's better to shop local for those types of things. So I also sit on the city plan commission, and so having these types of businesses, I think, only further create the situation where it's a community that you must go to and you must live in. And so I'm really proud of those types of things.
This is true. My wife has just started going to that particular store. And Bosco, the podcast dog, is crazily spoiled with toys every week. Every week she pops in with new toys that he literally destroys in 15 minutes or less. I feel like I'm going to have to create a budget for Bosco's toys because he's bad.
The dogs and cats of our lives are more important than us sometimes.
Oh my God, yes. And there's no. There's like if I'm like, hey, can we kind of constrain that? And it's like, no, we're not gonna constrain that. I'm gonna buy him what I want. And I'm like, good God,
bruh.
All right, then Bosco gets what he wants. Pets.
Pets are needed. Pets are out there, and pets are adoptable, and everybody should have a pet. It really helps us as humans, especially as we grow. People like us who have had our children move out, we need pets. They are something to love and something to love us back unconditionally. They love us, and you can't say that about a lot of other things in this world, but pets, you can say they unconditionally love you.
Yes, I'm just going to say that Bosco loves you just a little bit more if there's a treat involved. If they're
Right, but
not just because he's that dude. He is the most food motivated person I know, and he does not mess around.
Well, bribery goes for everybody, right?
Facts. It really does.
Right.
You said earlier we had an opportunity to conversate a little bit. You got you got a new pet in the house?
I do have a new pet. We have a new puppy that for whatever reason I decided to go out and get one. I'm a big believer in the humane societies, that there is a need out there for those types of things. And I was moved by a story of a dog that they found up by Family Dollar. And, the thing was super skinny. It was clearly used just for breeding purposes. And the Humane Society is bringing this dog back to health in order to have it live a good life. And that just got me thinking that, this dog is one of thousands, and I can do my little part to help one of those dogs, and that's what we decided to do. Now, my wife thinks I'm crazy, but you got to get stuff done, and you got to help in this world, and through the Humane Societies, that's one way to help.
This is true. My wife, whenever they do those stories, she always sends them to me, and I was like, "Hey, we need to give Bosco a friend."
Hint.
The hint is heavy. Now, this is the same young lady who it took me 20 years into talking her to even having a Bosco. So, I'm just like, no, not yet.
You see how they change you? They change you big.
They change you at your core, and good changes for the better. I appreciate it. Books
is read. Now, I am an individual that struggles to read. I have dyslexia, and for me, reading is a little frustrating. However, books that I read on tape or now CD or download or whatever. So I'm doing Audible books. I'm an action adventure kind of guy. The Jason Bourne series, war type of things, American Sniper, those types of things to look at. There's a TV streaming thing called Killing Eve. It's based on a book series called Villanelle. I'm listening to that one right now. I'm loving the fact that the stories are 1,000 times different than what you see on TV or the movies. My wife hates that part because when we watch the movie, I go, now this wasn't the way it was in the book.
Oh, are you that person?
Right. Providing the commentary. But I think books are important no matter what your ability is. I think that you can start with simple books, red fish, blue fish, one fish, two fish. You could go all the way up to the Iliad or Odyssey type of book. You could do whatever you want as long as you sit down and have a chance to read. I think it brings some peace to your soul.
I couldn't agree more. I'm with you on the audiobooks. I've found like that's my way. I don't have the attention span to sit down and dig into a book like I used to. So audiobooks are my way. I can listen to them in my car on the way to work. And just even before I go to bed, sometimes when I can't sleep, throw on an audiobook by after chapter 2, I'm usually
right.
I'm out. Right. But I really am grateful for the many ways that you can access audiobooks. Even, what my favorite way is right now are those library apps where you can download these audiobooks for like 2 weeks. Free because it's the library and you never have to leave the comfort of your home. It comes straight to your phone or your tablet. And there's a good selection out there.
There's a very good selection. And our city library is spectacular. They are always looking for the newest, best, hottest thing to get the word out there of their resources. And so I highly encourage people to, if you haven't been in that library and you haven't checked them out, go again because it is something new. It is not your old school library.
Agreed. The library is amazing. I'd like to send a special shout out to all the librarians out there, particularly the libraries, Oshkosh Library, Appleton Library team. Yes, big shout out to y'all and the Neenah Library team. Those are just great libraries and work together often. And there's just, if you haven't been to the library in a long time, you can get anything. You can get movies. You can get video games.
Yep.
Like audio tapes, audio books, anything, records even. And I'm just amazed. Like, and all of this is for free.
For free. You can get hotspots. You can get family activities like crime scene investigator stuff. You can get microscopes. Yeah, stuff like that. You can do a lot of stuff with your family.
Yeah, so if you have not been to your local public library, particularly the Oshkosh one, since this is the Kosh,
right?
You got to go in there and check it out. What is offered is amazing, and the people that work there are just fantastic.
Couldn't agree more.
All right. On to the next segment, which is Kosh Hidden Gems.
Well, I think one of the biggest hidden gems in this area are the city parks and the recreation opportunities that we have. The lakefront is amazing. You can walk up and down Menominee Park 3 different times and see 300 different things. The parks offer bird watchers, hiking trails. I'm a geocacher. I can go out and do some geocaching and do all these kinds of things. I live off of the Wheel Wash Trail, so I could go 26 miles in one direction or another. I really think that it's a hidden gem, and it needs to be utilized a lot more than it has. And I really do believe that getting out and getting about gets you to meet people, gets you to meet new things out there. And you might see a bird you have never seen before, or you might see something that is just going to be different than it was the day before. And I think it's the biggest hidden gem that we have.
You know what when I go to the parks, one of the favorite things that I like seeing now, and my favorite park is Menominee Park, since I live fairly close to there, and that's Bosco's spot. Bosco there, he knows that trail. That is his favorite walk of all walks. But I love going there and just seeing all the diversity of the different families. All sorts of families. So, you talked earlier about some of our refugees and immigrant families. Like, they go to the park and they gather and they're there with their families and they're barbecuing and having great times and checking out our zoo. And they just look, anytime I've ever ran across them, there's just happiness there. And there's something to be said for that, right? Having those common spaces, common public spaces where people can gather with others and see, and even to observe others. Let's just say that, not in a creepy way, of course.
for that, you go to Vegas.
But I just enjoy that when I'm walking Bosco and just seeing all the different types of families there and doing what they do, no different than us.
Right. And it's hard to not be happy in a park.
Yes, I will agree with that. Yep. Except for when there's I'm going to tell you my pet peeve is the geese. The geese drive me crazy.
I agree. I have a little pond behind my house, and the geese are. I'm happy when that pond freezes over because they go away, but I know soon they'll come back.
Yeah, the geese they're park gangsters.
Yeah,
they poop everywhere and they run up on you, and they ain't these geese nowadays, they done got bold.
Yeah, they're not happy birds.
Nah, man, they're not. They're not nice and friendly and stuff. They're more like, hey, don't run up on us.
That's right.
You don't want these problems.
And now I'm going to leave a mess for you.
It's so true,
bruh.
All right. What's the Kosh need?
The Kosh need is just about every community's need, is that we need to support the nonprofit entities that are part of this community. There are dozens, and they all need support through volunteerism, through financial contributions, through resource development, those types of things. And I'm talking the Boys and Girls Club. I'm talking about the agency I work for, the Winnebago Area Literacy Council, NAMI, Big Brothers Big Sisters, Habitat for Humanity, goes on and on and on. And all these places serve this community in ways that are fully not understood or not seen, but make this community stronger. And so that's the need for us, is to get more involved. Hundreds and hundreds of volunteer opportunities, hundreds of opportunities just to drop off a small check, or just like in a case like Goodwill or Habitat for Humanity, drop some stuff off at their place that they could utilize or resell in other ways. So there's just dozens of ways to support our community through these nonprofit organizations.
I think there's a lot of, I don't even think, I know for sure, as a fact, like there's all these people out there that have best of hearts, great intentions, would love to, they just don't even know how to.
They don't know how to, and all it just takes is just a call or a click on your mouse nowadays. Most of these places have got tremendous websites. Just to say, can you send me more information? Because I guarantee you somebody will get back to you within a day or two to say, here's all the ways that you can help. All
right. This is true.
Yep.
Well, we're big on that. Please, if you aren't currently already, if you don't already have your favorite nonprofit or your favorite organization out there, look into some. We have some amazing ones around the Kosh here, just doing fantastic things, helping our little corner of the world be a much better and more welcoming place. You can't beat that.
You can't, and that's what makes us a strong community.
Facts. Time for the Naughty/Heroes Corner. This is where you have the opportunity to put somebody in the Naughty or Heroes Corner. It doesn't have to be a person. It could be a thing. It could be an organization. It could be whatever you like. So, Tom, what do you got going on?
Well, obviously, with the recent world turmoil, my naughty corner goes to a world leader who really just seems to have a very difficult time with justifying anything that's going on. But ignorance, on my part may also be misunderstanding. However, I'm pretty sure I'm not misunderstanding in this particular realm. It's a tough thing to witness because of all of the hurt that is going to occur.
I think it's going to be different. And what I mean by that is, like, I think with all of the ways that media travels now, we're going to see things about war that we never expected to see. And so it's not going to be this thing where these atrocities are happening over there and, it's just talked about. There's going to be pictures that get out. There's going to be video that gets out. It's going to be on our phones, on our tablets, in our living rooms. And I don't think it's going to sit right in the long run, right? It sits in ignorance at first, but I don't think that's the way this is going to play out now, is because things are going to leak and you're going to be thinking to yourself, I still don't even understand this. Why? And why are these innocent citizens of this country suffering for what?
Right.
And you're going to see it.
I agree. And I just, the last few years has just made it almost okay for us to not be kind to people. And I just hope that this isn't a culmination of all that. We need to get back to just being nice to people, no matter who they are. And I think that leads me to all my heroes. My heroes, I don't have a particular hero because anybody and everybody can be a hero. And because of that, our organization sponsors a comic book contest every summer called the Mark Gruenwald Comic Book Creation Challenge, where we ask you to develop your own hero, put it in a comic form. And over the years, we've seen hamsters that are heroes. We've seen brothers or sisters that are heroes. We've seen parents that are heroes. One kid wrote about their mom, who was the hero during the summer just for putting up with him and his brothers and sisters all summer long. So, yeah. So a hero is who you make it, and go out and make a hero. Go out and make a hero. Check out our comic book contest because it is a lot of fun. We get a lot of great prizes. It's a way to keep your skills up during the summer when you don't have school, and create your hero. Create your hero for all to see, because we have a big old party. We put those heroes on display, and every one of those heroes absolutely and totally amazing.
Yes. All right. I like that. I like that you did both.
Create your hero.
You went naughty and you went hero.
Yep.
The one thing you didn't do was you told us about the amazing contest. Mm-hmm. But what organization?
Well, it's the Winnebago Area Literacy Council. You can find it through our website. We have a Facebook page devoted strictly to the Mark Gruenwald Comic Book Creation Challenge. And for those of you who don't know, Mark Gruenwald was an Oshkosh resident, and he was the head of Marvel Comics for many, many years. He's pretty much the person who made Captain America who he is today. So it's a local person, went away, did good, someone to be proud of, and it's a great way to honor his legacy, but also get the creativity of our community going, and we're happy to see it.
So you're trying, this is news to me. Bruh. I did not know that we had someone local,
right,
in charge of Marvel.
He was the creative content director of Marvel, and as I said, he pretty much made Captain America the way he is today. He started off as a young kid writing to Marvel Comics and their letters to the editor, making suggestions and things like that all the time. And he lived here for the longest time, but when duty called, he went to New York, and unfortunately, he died at a very young age. But he is a local hero to comic book people in this area.
That's good to know, because I'm a comic book guy, and that's new news. That's exciting news.
It is very exciting, and we get entries from kids that are 3 to adults who are 85, and every point in between. We put most of our winning categories on the kids' ages, obviously, because we want it to be a continuation of things that are learned during the summer. But the stories have been absolutely amazing.
Okay. Well, you know what time it is now? It is... Yes, I haven't shortened that yet. It is time for the topic of the week. Tom, what is the topic of the week?
The topic of the week is going to be tolerance and creating stronger communities.
Okay, let's jump in.
All right. We need to have strong communities. That's how communities flourish. We don't want to be a community that's got a McDonald's or a Starbucks in every corner. We don't want to be a community that all looks exactly the same and does the exact same thing. We thrive as a community and are strong as a community when we have different churches, we have different restaurants, we have different ethnicities, all contributing to our society and making it stronger by having people sitting on boards and commissions and letting their ideas flow and the acceptance of all of those ideas. And so we need to have that. And the first thing that brings that on is tolerance, and tolerance of what you don't know.
I'd like to go a step further than just tolerance, acceptance.
Acceptance as well.
You know, let's don't just tolerate it, accept it. Accept it as what is needed. Because you know what? It would be really boring if everything was the same. I agree. So we need diverse everything.
We need diverse everything. Opinions, people, dress. You know, celebrate the fact that this person is wearing the brightest pink you've ever seen. I just think that that's just wonderful. Or other colors like that. Accept people for who they are, because you're going to learn. I remember 2 summers ago when EAA was going strong. I was coming out of the library, and I saw this family from Central Africa. They were coming into the library. They were going to meet with somebody. And I knew they were one of our new refugee families because of the way they dressed. Their outfits were very vibrant colors. They were very traditional wear, and I just put a smile on my face when I saw them walking towards me, towards the library. And then out of the blue, a jet fighter came by, just zoom. And this family of 4, all 4 of them hit the ground. And that made me think about what they went through to get here, because they had seen jet fighters, but in hostile actions in their past. And the sound brought back memories and instinctively made them hit the ground because something bad was coming. And my moment of joy went to a moment of frustration and almost tears, because we shouldn't live in a world where we have to see people who react that way. We should live in a world where we are happy to see the outfits, the colors, the cheer that are heading your way, and not be dashed away when something unexpected occurs.
That's powerful. I feel that.
Yeah, and it just goes to show, and so then I made it a point to, when I come across our new residents, that I talk to them. Every single new person that comes through our door, I go and talk to, because I want to learn something about them. I want to learn of their journey. I started looking at the Hmong story cloths that were made years and years ago for people when the Hmong came here in the 70s and late 70s and early 80s. They created these cloths that depicted a story, and some of the stories were about their journey from their homeland, having to cross the river and getting to a new country and resettling and that kind of stuff. And yet there's a humility that goes with their stories that makes you think, this adversity is something, could I handle this kind of adversity? And I'm not sure I can. But the people who are coming to this community have handled horrors that we would never even imagine could occur, and they smile and they're happy to take what we can. And this is what makes our community stronger, is that these people who come to us are so strong. They can handle anything. They can handle our community. Well, let's let them be more responsible. Let's accept them. Let's teach them our cultural norms. Let's learn from their culture, and let's make a strong community of it.
Wow. And I think about that, like, even I think about that internally. There was something you said about, engagement, really. You take the time to say hello and have a conversation or get to know them a little bit. And I think about that even as fellow citizens, Americans who, we move to a new region, and particularly diverse people, how powerful that can be to help a smile, just a hello, just something to say, hey, you're welcome here.
Right.
That's so huge, and it changes. It can change so many things about our interactions with each other, and just improve the overall feeling of community. We shouldn't be looking at others and saying, "Oh, that's doesn't quite fit," or "That's hinky," or that's not that's weird to our community," or that's weird.
Right. I agree.
Exclusiveness is weird.
Right. I've had people that are like, well, you look how funny they dress. And I'm like, you're in ratty sweatpants and stuff. I don't know why you have a right to even say anything. I love the way these people look.
You ratty sweatpants and a stained T-shirt. Exactly. You have never lied. Okay. Well, you also talked about creating stronger communities. What else? What else can we do?
You just got to learn. The thing is, you got to learn. You got to read about the people that are coming here. When you meet somebody, just go up and say hi. How are you doing? And you can ask things. Hey, where are you from? I'd like to, get to know more about you. And the people would be more than happy to talk to you about their life experiences, things that they want to do, things that they want to learn. Sometimes they just want to learn how to get to the grocery store around the corner. But all those interactions are what make people great. And so all you have to do is ask, have a thirst for knowledge, and go out there and know. Ignorance leads to stupidity. So let's not be there. Let's learn what we got, learn what the people are about around here, learn about your neighbor, your friend. Neighbors don't even talk to each other anymore, quite frankly. So learn about the people around you. You'll be happy that you did, because I went and moved into the neighborhood I'm at. I went and talked to the lady next to me. Now every year she's given me brownies for Christmas.
What?
There you go. There's something that came back that was positive to me.
Yeah, you could have brought some brownies.
I ate them all.
Oh, bruh. All right, that's fair. I would have did the same. I like that. And you know what I even like more is because I'm big into, like, don't just have surface level engagement. Take it a step further. And I'm big on, like, I think the ultimate way to connect with anybody of any background, identity, culture is to break bread with them.
I agree.
And so that would be my thing. Take it a step further. After you get to know them, don't leave it surface level. Find a way to have a meal with them, their families, whoever, because I do think that is the ultimate way. Food is the most peaceful way to communicate.
Right. Well, the saying is never held more truth. The way to a man's heart is through their stomach, and that goes without a doubt. Is that if you want to open your heart, open your stomach. Let's share that bread, because it is a positive step in making this a strong community.
No doubt. Okay. That gives me some ideas. Maybe we should think about that. Maybe we need like some type of cultural food festival.
I think that would be amazing.
I think it would be good. We should really have it at Menominee Park.
Yes.
That would be even better.
I think it would be really good.
Maybe we should talk about it. Hey, Kosh listeners out there, don't let this just go to the sidelines. Let's have a further conversation about that. Appleton has this amazing event called Rhythms of the World, and they have all of these different cultures come in, and there's music, there's dancing, there's performances, and then sometimes, because it's farmers market is going on at the same time, there's food. But maybe we have something that centers around food. The university does it also with people who study abroad and they come back and give a presentation, and then they serve the food of the country that they visited. We should think about that, Oshkosh.
I couldn't agree more. I think that it would be great, and as obviously somebody who loves food, I would be there first in line with my fork up or chopsticks or whatever.
Facts.
Bruh.
All right. Well, is there anything else that you would like to add at this time, Tom?
Well, one of the things that I just want to say is that as we age, as humans, we learn differently. When you're a kid, you're learning, you have a sponge. You have a sponge for a brain. Everything around you is going into it. When you reach a certain age, it's much harder to do that, and learning can stop. And I say that we should always strive to learn something new every single day. And something that's not just, this is the new way to put a widget together, but something about your neighbor, your friend, your car. I don't care what it is, but learn something, whether or not you can't go to a car wash on a Friday night. Learn to go on a Wednesday night. And, those are the types of things that we need to do, because with knowledge comes strength. And boy, we need that strength in order to get through our lives as we age. So let's learn something out there, everybody. Learn something new every single day.
I think you just took a pot shot at me, Tom. I have learned that I will not be going after work to try to get in line for the car wash with my filthy, filthy car.
There you go.
All right. Well, it's that time where we start wrapping up, y'all. Thank you so much for spending some time with us. Listening to things that we have to say. I feel like this is going to be a really powerful episode. And it's going to make some people think. I think that's going to be amazing. So, once again, as I always say, we are a work in progress. I would love to hear from you. Please help make this show better. If you email me, I will definitely respond. I personally respond. Email us at askthekosh@gmail.com. Once again, that is askthekosh@gmail.com. Also, if you didn't know, we have a new website. The website's cool. Put some work in on that. It is thekoshpodcast.com. Once again, that is thekoshpodcast.com. Go check it out. You can get to all of the episodes. There will be lots of changes coming in the following weeks with the website. We are very much in development mode. So, and I've been trying to get Kosh listeners out here to participate in a new segment called Ask the Kosh. I'm still waiting for people to call in and do that. Have you heard about this, Tom?
Yes, I have.
Yeah. I'm trying to get somebody to call in and make this work. So that is 920-385-9298. Once again, 920-385-9298. And my last request is I need Kosh listeners out there to give us some reviews. Tell us how we're doing. We want to grow. So to help us grow, we need reviews. Apple on iTunes and wherever you can put a review out there. Share what you think about us. It'll help us grow. It'll help us get better. But it also will help raise our profile. So I do have my own selfish reasons why I need these reviews. So am I too transparent?
There's nothing wrong with being selfish every once in a while.
Every once in a while, right? Yeah, like with your brownies.
That's exactly right.
All right. So you know what time it is right now? Tom, do you know what time it is?
No, I have no idea what time it is.
It is my favorite time of the show. It is shout out time. So, Tom, what do you got for shout outs?
I want to shout out to a lot of the strong groups that are in the community, especially Oshkosh has a huge selection of groups that empower women and the Women Who Care, the Women's Fund. All those groups have incredible people that are part of it that are very caring and love the community around us and want to make it bigger and stronger as well. And if you don't know anything about those groups, find out about those groups, because they are what's going to drive us for the future, or help drive us for the future. And I think that it's really important to know about them.
Oh, okay. My shout outs go. Well, you know what? You are correct. My shout out is going to go to Mr. Self, Chuck, out there. I want to send a shout out to you. Thank you very much. You know why. And send a shout out to, I don't know, the UW Oshkosh for the success they're having right now to for their basketball team. They're out there doing great things. You know, there's always a timing thing about when you might listen to this episode and what's really happening in real time. But today, UW Oshkosh, if I'm correct, is playing for the WEAC Conference Championship. So as a Titan through and through, I want to send much, much love and great, great luck to the Titans and hope that you can pull a victory off and bring that and make that happen. It's here in the Kosh. I think I'm going to have to go check that out firsthand. I'd also like to send a shout out to the Ruby Owl. Ruby Owl, why are those avocado fries so good? Like, I'm mad at y'all. Like, them avocado fries are seriously, seriously good. And whatever that sauce, it's about the sauce. It's the crunch in the sauce. Whatever you got going on with those, it's not right because I keep giving you money for them. So therefore, I feel some kind of way about it. Other than that, I think we will let it go. So we were on to the last part of this episode, and that is parting words of wisdom. Tom, what do you have for us?
You know, I just want to say that my parting words would be just be kind to people. It's just so important to be kind to those around you because it's what makes us great. Don't be afraid. There's nothing in this world to be afraid of that knowledge won't help you understand. So please think about that and get out there. Be nice.
That is wisdom. Be kind. It's that simple. The Kosh.